Hey guys, this is What If Naruto Was in Young Justice Part 1. Now, I do a lot of Young Justice What Ifs, and I'm probably the only Young Justice What Ifer that makes Young Justice What Ifs consistently like every month. But basically, enough of that. So, this is going to be a What If mainly for me, and my first ever real Naruto What If, because I have done other What Ifs about characters having Naruto type powers, or that one time I tried to make a Naruto, what if Naruto, the Omnitrix What If, but I never published it or I never uploaded it because I literally didn't know much about Naruto. So basically, pretty simple. With this What If, I also am going to be watching Naruto on the side so I can know about it. I say I'm an anime fan, but I mainly just watch animes with superhero stuff in it or harem stuff in it, or something like a OP main character trying to find his way, or some sort of emotional anime, or something like that. But I never watched the classics like Bleach, Naruto, and Goku, because they've all, or Dragon Ball Z, because they've all been spoiled for me, and I basically know the plot itself and everything. But I actually am gonna start watching the first Naruto show on Netflix, to try to get a feel of, everything about Naruto, his character. I know his character and his plot design and everything about him. Majority what you need to know the show, but I'm gonna watch it for myself to finally, get the big hype about the classic OG animes. So yeah, I'm gonna start watching that as well. And I also am gonna be making another Deku What If, but it's gonna be taking place in a later season about like what if Deku, I don't know, had some sort of OP ability that he just figured out he had or something like that. So basically, yeah. So this is What If Naruto Was in Young Justice Part 1. Let's dive right into the series, starting with season 1, episode 1. I was gonna start with season 3 or 4 or something like that, but I want to start off with something simple like the first, pretty much season. It was a simple, grounded show, and then when we got to season 2, it kind of went all over the place with space stuff and other things like that. But let's just dive right into the episode with season 1, episode 1, Independence Day. So let's get into it. Start our story off of how Naruto is going to be introduced in the DC or Young Justice universe. As in this universe, doing Naruto's, journey or his life, as we get switched to Naruto about near, like in between season 1 of the show, of the original Naruto show. As we see Naruto as a young boy, as Naruto is fighting some sort of clan member, as he pulls out some unknown ninjutsu, or pretty much form of ninja magic, that literally sends him to another dimension. Naruto is sent through a portal as he wakes up and opens his eyes in a grass-type park area. As he looks over and he sees some sort of man in some teched-out, big, bulky suit with some ice or snow globe over his face, as he has white, pale skin. As he sees some sort of kid in a black and red type spandex suit jump over him and crack on his forehead with some sort of batarang or shape type shurikens. As out of nowhere, this man in a black cowl with a bat logo on his chest beats up the ice themed character. As what happens is Naruto sees this. As Naruto flees out of the area, as he looks around and he walks around the city, basically seeing all the ice villain named attacks, as we see that Speedy and Green Arrow take down Icicle Jr., and we see that Aqualad and Aquaman take down people like Killer Frost, and also pretty much Captain Freeze, Captain Freeze basically getting taken down by Flash and Kid Flash. So what happens is, Naruto sees all this as he walks around this new teched out and new technologically advanced universe, as he looks at cars, buildings, and giant, window type places, just overall being filled with so much, let's just say, just overwhelmed by it all. As he walks around, and at this point, he walks around for hours and hours, and eventually This is when we get switched to the main, cast of the members in Young Justice, as we see that Kid Flash, Robin, Aqualad, they all check out Katniss, and as they're in Katniss, we get switched to where they come across they come across Blackbuster. But before that, we get switched to Naruto's story in this Young Justice universe, because it's not going to be mainly on the Young Justice cast. It's going to be mainly focused on Naruto's transition into this universe. Now, as Naruto's walking around in the city, as he looks around, as he picks up on something new, different. Another new and different thing among a lot of other things. As he looks again and again and again all over the place, seeing new faces, different clothing, and all sorts of different stuff, as he feels unfamiliar and overall overwhelmed by everything that's going on. As Naruto trips and falls and looks around and tries to figure out what's going on, as pretty much, he overall gets stopped by some sort of unknown character. As this unknown character is none other than Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter was flying over the city, as he did hear Naruto's unwild and overall loud mind. As Martian Manhunter looks at him and says, "Do you need help, child? And what are you wearing?" As Naruto's in his normal, orange and blue suit. As Naruto backs up from him, basically pretty much getting to a fighting stance, saying, "Who are you? Why am I here? Where am I?" As Martian Manhunter reads his mind, saying that you're confused. I understand. As Martian Manhunter talks to Naruto for a solid 30 minutes, trying to explain what's going on, him trying to explain what happened to Naruto. As eventually Naruto, pretty much tells Martian Manhunter, feeling that he can trust him, mainly being thrown off by his appearance, as he has green skin and a weird-shaped head, but he nonetheless tries to trust him. As eventually, we get seeing that, over time and over a couple minutes and hours, we see that, Martian Manhunter kind of opens up to Naruto as well. Them becoming not friends, but first, pretty much, pals, I guess. So basically what happens is, Naruto is taken by Martian Manhunter near the same time when Martian Manhunter would have picked up his niece, and Naruto would have been introduced to Megan before anybody else on the team. As Naruto would have talked to Megan, basically trying to get to know her, seeing her as attractive, as he would have just brushed that off, trying to get that thought out of his head, as Miss Martian would have felt that in his mind, as she would have blushed as well, looking away. As Naruto, for plot reasons, he would be about the same age, but a little bit aged up to the rest of the cast, like about 14, 15, 16 something. So what happened is, Naruto was talking to Megan on the bioship, as the bioship would have landed at pretty much Mount Justice headquarters, as pretty much, Martian Manhunter would have introduced Naruto to the team. Him being introduced to the team on Welcome to Happy Harbor, or near the end of episode 2, Fireworks. Now, pretty much what happened for episode 3, Happy Harbor, we've seen Naruto would have pretty much been living at Mount Justice with Megan and Superboy, basically him getting to know Superboy as well. And then not becoming friends, but more or less pretty much Superboy kind of opening up to Naruto. Now, Naruto does have some teaching with Megan sometimes, as Megan does teach him normal things about how the toaster works, a microwave, and a stove works. As pretty much, Naruto tries to figure out what's going on and tries to really think about, what are these technological advancements and everything that's going on. As he eventually looks closer and closer at what everything's happening, he eventually gets the handle of normal household, tech utensils that, he uses, but he still eats chopsticks. He specifically asked for chopsticks. And basically, majority of everything in the freezer there, or pretty much the pantry at Mount Justice, is stacked full with ramen. Instant ramen is the only thing Naruto absolutely loves here. So basically, Naruto does work out in the gym area, and does train on his ninja type skills, and does train on his magic type abilities, or his pretty much jutsu, as eventually he was able to find a book in this DC universe. when he went to a nearby bookstore, being given the clearance to go there by Martian Manhunter. And the Martian Manhunter did give him a little bit of a better suit choice, as it would basically just be a modified version of his Naruto suit. And Naruto's suit is going to be his hero costume for basically, the mission type things. But for basically other things like that, stealth missions when he's in civilian clothing, he's basically just in like a yellow jumpsuit. Basically his jumpsuit is like an orange jumpsuit, but like it's completely orange with black highlights. It's Adidas black orange outfit with black highlights and a black zipper, and with straight up black shoes with blue highlights in them. So he walks to not a comic book store, but he walks to a bookstore, some sort of voodoo type store, as he sees a book, as it's a book with all the ninjutsu, or pretty much techniques from the Naruto universe, in a book from a fiction. So in this universe, the Naruto universe is actually fictional, but it's not named Naruto, it's named somebody else, like another Japanese name. But basically the character Naruto is in a book, and everything about him is in a book. His story and everything deriving all the way to his evolution to when he had a kid, Boruto. So basically the book is just filled with all his techniques and how he learned them and how he used them. So Naruto buys this book immediately and looks at it closer, as Naruto pretty much picks up new techniques and other things such as that. Now Naruto looks at the book closer and closer, and eventually stops himself from reading the personal life of his future self, because in this book it's just a version of him but named different, basically how his life would be if he stayed in his universe. So Naruto basically looks at this book and closes it off and rips out the pages with this character's personal life, but only keeping the pages with the techniques and moves and pretty much things that Naruto learned all the way up until he became, OP and basically the top he can be, or as best as he can be in his universe. So Naruto didn't want to know his future, what he would have in his universe, because he didn't want to be shot down, because he knew that Martian Manhunter told him that it wouldn't be really a way they could find. It would be taking years for them to find a way to send him back to his universe. So Naruto was stuck. Now Naruto would basically grab this book, as he would have just learned some of the, and the book would be big, with like a chapter book, at least like a book as thick as a weight. So like it was a really big book, at least like as big as somebody's chest. So like it was a really big book. So basically what would happen is, Naruto would have just read a couple of, moves, as he would have learned each move separately to himself. Eventually, pretty much Kid Flash and Robin and Aqualad would have showed up, them telling them and asking for a mission, as Naruto would have accepted, because he would want to go out and beat some villain. But as he would have been told about villains and other superhero type icons in this world, like Superman, Batman, Flash, and Black Canary, Green Arrow, stuff like that, people like that in the DC universe. Now what would happen basically, we could switch to the team going on a little bit of a friendly type ride in Bioship, being introduced to Bioship, but Naruto already knowing Bioship. Now Naruto just looks around, as he basically looks at Miss Martian's transformations, her transforming into a female version of Naruto with the pigtails, like Naruto learned. Because Naruto, with the whole entire, pretty much evolution of his character, Naruto learned a new technique every part. I, show this what if every part. So basically, Naruto hasn't learned the whole trick about transforming his body into a different form, but he has learned Shadow Clone Jutsu though. Since episode 1, he did learn it. So what happened is, Naruto would have been in this battleship, as the team would have been informed about something happening in Harbor Bay, or Happy Harbor, as they would have got the ship, as Naruto would have actually been in his normal Naruto type suit with the whole slides and pretty much puffy collar suit that he would have in the Naruto first episode suit or outfit, as he would have jumped out of battleship, as the rest of the team would have jumped out as well. Basically Naruto sprinting off ninja style with Robin, basically disappearing into the shadow or disappearing into the building with Robin. As they would have been working together, Robin actually seen that Naruto was working like a ninja in the shadows, kind of like him, but a lot more let's just say not as well stealthy as him, as he would still have a bright orange suit, and plus he would also, make smirky comments as he was sneaking in the shadows. Him also not being good at whispering that much, and also him basically doing really like show off flips, kicks, and wall jumps and wall runs, and basically not really blending in that much, but not pretty much Robin just pushing it off. Now, what would happen is the team would have came across Twister, basically trying to fight him, as they would have all got bodied. Naruto would have used Saokon Jutsu to disorientate Twister, as he would have get close enough to cut one of the tubes on Twister, pushing him down to the ground, and Shadow Clones jumping onto him, punching him down. As eventually Twister would have used his blast attack, or basically a wind attack, making a huge tornado inside of the building all at once, making a huge tornado, breaking a whole sunroof in the middle of the building, as he would have dipped, leaving everybody in shambles on the ground, bleeding. As Naruto would have jumped off of his back, him bleeding from the head profusely, but him running as fast as he possibly can up to Twister, trying to catch him before he can fly off. As Twister would have tried to fly off, as eventually Naruto would have grabbed the bottom of his boot, trying to stop him, but Twister kicking him on the forehead and knocking Naruto out cold, him falling down to the ground at least 50 feet down, as Miss Martian would have had to catch him. As what happened after that, the team still would have gotten bodied, because they would have tried to stop Twister as well after Naruto would have got bodied, but Twister would have stopped them by using the same type of tornado storm move, as he also would have left being fooled by Miss Martian's bioship, pretty much cloaking. Now, since pretty much what would happen, since Naruto would have started the whole big fight, they wouldn't really be fighting amongst each other, because the main thing is that they weren't stopped by pretty much mission. But Connor would still be mad at Naruto, since he did escalate in the fight without pretty much, keep staying behind with us, trying to keep us safe, being a team. So basically, Naruto would have also been jumped on by Robin. Now, for height wise, Naruto's about the same height as Robin, like the exact same height, maybe taller, but majority same height as Robin. Now, basically, what happened is Naruto would have been scolded a little bit, but the team wouldn't really been scolding each other too much, making not really being filled with that, pretty much, let's just say, guilt as an original. So she would still go on to try to get help, because she knew that Twister was a bad man and he was dropping all of them pretty fast and even giving Naruto the hands. So she went to try to get help from Red Tornado, but before that happened, she got the same plan like in canon. Now, what happened is Kid Flash, Superboy, and the rest of the team would have shown up to go fight against Twister, as Naruto and pretty much Robin would have done some far away type attacks, Naruto throwing shurikens and also using Shadow Clone Jutsu to disorientate Twister more and more. Twister knowing this trick, using the same tornado move, but Naruto being able to slide in between his pretty much Shadow Clone Jutsus into the swarm of his clones, all the way to pretty much Twister's back, as he would have started to pull more of his blue tubes that are on the back of his armor or suit, and basically trying to take him out as fast as possible. As Twister would have gotten frustrated, him grabbing Naruto and twisting him up into the air all the way near the water area, falling into the water, pretty much being deep in the water. I mean, deep in Happy Harbor. So he would have to swim a pretty big, way down, or way to the mainland. As eventually the rest of the team would have fought Twister by themselves, as the fight would have gone, bad, as buildings would have been broken, boats would have been crashed, and a bunch of other stuff would have happened. Now, Miss Martian would have showed up with the same type of trick, using the Red Tornado trick, basically fighting Twister, but eventually being able to overpower him or trick him with the rest of the team, as she would have crushed the dude that was inside the Twister suit, Basically, the team thinking that she killed him, but Miss Martian saying that basically, well, it was a robot, not human. So what happened is, well, they would see that it was a robot, and pretty much Kid Flash would have took a souvenir, aka a robot eye, as he would have said, "Cool." Now, basically, he would, walk away, and the team would have been succeeded with their mission. But Aqualad also is not forgetting about how, well, pretty much Naruto's still in the water, as pretty much, well, Aqualad says he has to go find him real quick, as he would have ran off into water, finding Naruto a couple miles deep into the water, as he would have grabbed Naruto and swinging him back to shore, and basically coming back to Mount Justice. As the episode would have ended off with these two scientists talking about how the experiment was somewhat of a success, say that the next project might be what we might looking for. Now, what would happen is Tornado would have still talked about the whole robot thing, but him not really caring, as he would still be, a Harley's type of machine, to Robin at least. Also, pretty much Kid Flash saying some stuff, and other things like that. Now, Naruto would have been just sleeping because he would have been kind of tired, because he would have been he would have been swimming for a long time trying to get near shore, but he was deep in there. So, pretty much, Alkalad had to get him. So, what happened is Naruto would have gone to sleep that night, as the episode would have ended off there, as I'm going to continue the series with episode 4, but I'm going to leave it off here, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and as always, guys, have a blessed day. Before I go, though, go down in the comments and tell me what other Naruto what if you want to see me do. Like, what if Naruto was in My Hero or something like that. But this is a good learning experience for me, because if you guys have any suggestions on more things I should know to learn more stuff on Naruto quicker, just go down in the comments and tell me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. As always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces.